Welcome back to the news at 10 o'clock tonight. ICE agents are wrapping up a months-long operation targeting violent criminals. In fact, they say they arrested more than 2,000 people across the country. 67 of them happen to be right here in the Valley.
And while that sounds like a worthwhile effort, not everyone is applauding the agency. Our chief investigative reporter, Morgan Lowe, goes behind the scenes for an inside look at the controversial work of ICE.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and we are sitting in an SUV on a stakeout with agents from Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Jesse Williams is the director of the Phoenix field office, and this morning we are looking for people who have been convicted of domestic violence.
They have gone through the local criminal justice system and have convictions for crimes that they've committed while in the U.S., while here illegally.
Soon we are on the chase. The first target, as ICE calls them, left his house, but is now trying to get back home before he's cut off. Agents get there seconds too late.
He knew that we're looking for him.
Outside the house, it's a standoff. But instead of going inside to arrest the man, the agents stay outside.
Why didn't you just break down the door and arrest him?
So this is an administrative investigation, and we have to have consent to enter his residence, and he was not going to give us consent.
Williams says they'll have to try to catch him another time outside his home. While this operation is targeting violent criminals, the latest numbers released by Syracuse University's Track Immigration Project show aggravated felons, drug traffickers, and sex offenders are a small minority of the people ICE normally takes into custody. Most of them are people whose only crime was coming into the country illegally, and that has sparked some serious criticism.
You hear in the media about the felons and the dangerous people that ICE claims to be arresting, but what we see daily in our office is people in absolute tears because their mother or father was picked up by ICE.
Ray Ibarra-Maldonado is an immigration attorney and just one of a growing number of voices calling for dismantling the agency. Maldonado accuses ICE of using deception to gain access to the homes where targets are staying, sometimes identifying themselves only as police. And he says the agents don't use discretion, arresting grandparents and parents as readily as criminals.
ICE is a rogue agency that needs absolutely to be abolished. I am 100% confident that this agency cannot be rehabilitated by simply saying follow these guidelines.
What do you say when you hear critics argue that ICE should just target violent criminals?
ICE enforces the laws of the United States government as far as immigration is concerned. These are laws that were enacted by Congress, and it is our duty to enforce those laws. So that's what I would say to the critics.
Today they are going after criminals, and they catch 3 of the 5 people they were looking for. Next stop is a date with an immigration judge, then likely deportation. Jesse Williams says it's not lost on his agents that they are sometimes separating families. He says they try to treat everyone professionally, even the man who wouldn't come out of his house, a gang member convicted of domestic violence.
You can't come in the house. I know that. You know that. Okay, then I'm not going to get out.
We are humans, and we do understand his plight, and we do understand what he's feeling, and we try to handle those situations with dignity.
Of the 67 people ICE arrested in the Phoenix area, officials say 54 of them had prior criminal convictions. ICE has reduced its enforcement operations because of concerns over the coronavirus, and this was the first major operation since the pandemic began. I'm Morgan Lowe for Arizona's Family.